So welcome to my presentation of the Life Fantastic for the EY4076 module. So our first slide is the design brief, which encourages students to think in all directions. Here the company outlines a rationale for why they want a secondary use for their product. They suggest areas to think about for the student, and they also outline the end goal of their product. The second slide is the timeline, which documents the design process, and I will admit I was a bit skeptical at the start, but after completing this in the portfolio I do see the benefits, as it allows you to make use of the process, your productive decisions on time management. It shows the progress of a student's direction as it defines the actions that they take step by step, and also in reviewing the process at the end I think it does highlight areas for the student of maybe where they might need to improve. The third slide involves defining the user requirements. I think this is a very important step as it develops the student's empathy. The student now has to consider who is the user, how will their design benefit them, what are their needs on a day-to-day basis. So the third slide engages students to think in all directions as they pay some inspirational sources. I think the most important word here is springboard, as these designs aren't copied, but they broaden the students' thoughts and spark creativity, allowing them to engage in the design process. The next slide involved a group discussion with your peers. I think this is extremely important as it allows the student to highlight areas of improvement on what they were doing right. Students are able to narrow down their ideas and make little tweaks based on the formative feedback. Generating ideas isn't as always easy as it seems. By using the Scamper method, it breaks up the design process into smaller achievable parts. It allows the students to think in all directions and make use of the process. By making productive mistakes, the students can highlight areas of improvement. They can see what works and what best suits the brief for this design. The next step involves sketching out your designs and making models. So I think this is extremely important, as once you model out your design you can see, is this tangible? By making use of the process you can highlight areas for improvement in your design, and also making productive mistakes is always extremely important, as if the student makes a mistake in the manufacturing stage modelling it, it's more than likely that the user that is trying to manufacture this design at home as well, reading the instructions, will also make that mistake, and you can highlight an area for improvement within your design then. Being able to effectively evaluate your own ideas is an extremely valuable trait for any student. This process here allows the student to define their direction and see the pros and cons of each design, if it fits the design brief, if it's new and special, if it's not so new and special. I think this is a simple layout as well that really would benefit the student. It's not always easy to effectively communicate a design. By using the ACC-ESSF method, it breaks down the design into its key aspects and makes your ideas more tangible. It also helps if another student is coming in trying to visualize the design process. Self-evaluation and receiving peer evaluation through sharing ideas is always a positive thing. It's never too late to make a productive mistake, and elements like this can really help your design process. So finally, and in my opinion, the most important part, the student's evaluation of the product. So here they identify what was good about their ideas, areas that would need to change to make their ideas more tangible, which is more important, this shows their adaptability, and also interesting how the student would persuade the class. I think that's a very effective method, as it's a good way of the student presenting their ideas and also recognising the value of their product.